Hello and welcome back to another episode of Be a Quirky Writer. Now today, instead of focusing on writing, I want to analyze some particular type of words. Now, you see in the English language, this wonderful language that we all love and cherish and from time to time deeply hate and despise, there is this thing called a collective noun. Now, collective nouns indicate a group either of things or of animals. And today, that is just what we will discuss, animals. You see, I stumbled upon a bit of information some time ago that said that a group of baboons is called a congress. I found it oddly fitting, so I decided to check the wiki. I found many more examples of collective nouns, and I wanted to share them with you and just make a bunch of silly and funny jokes. So be advised that this video will probably contain language that is not suited for children. And by probably, I mean surely. So let's dive right into it and let's just go and see some of the examples. Now, for birds, for instance, you have a flock of birds, right? You have the flock of chicken or flock of swallows and whatnot, and you would have also the differentiation between female and male. So you would have hens, and then you would have cocks. So many jokes, so little time, so let's move on with the examples. For bovine, you would have the herd, right? You would have cows and bulls, and also cattle in general, that is the herd. Packs of dogs, you already know that. I found out that cats, female cats are called queens, because of course they would. And then you have the male toms. And obviously, cats are distinguished in size. So a bunch of small cats is called a clowder. A bunch or a group of large cats, so lions for instance, is called a pride. Oh, the hubris. Rabbits, you would have the Jills, and then you would have the Jacks, male and female and male. And then you would have the collective noun for rabbits. You would have a nest, okay, sounds good, and then you would have a band of rabbits, which males are jacks. Would that mean that you would have the Jacksons 5, like 5 rabbits? Okay, I'm gonna skip that one. Here is where the things start to get a little bit more complicated. You see, let's consider dolphins and whales. Now, interestingly enough, the differentiation between male and female is the same one as we have seen for cattle. So you have female cow and then you have male bull. And the collective noun would be a pod. Now imagine this, you're with your marine biologist friend out whale watching, because apparently that could be a thing. And your friend, to let you know that he is knowledgeable, just tells you that the whale that you are observing is male. A male whale. You're on the trail of a male whale. Try saying that 10 times fast. And obviously, since you are a linguist, you want to also share your knowledge and just go, oh, you mean it's a bull? And your friend just goes, bullshit, that's a bull. That's a fucking whale and you can see it. Anyway, that is the dilemma that we are facing, right? Many different names for many different things. So let's go on with many more examples. Alligators, you would have a congregation of alligators, but not during the pandemic, that would be unwise. Barracudas, same as many other fish, you have schools. So schools of barracudas, schools of fish, so educated. Bears. Now, bears, I found it very interesting because the collective noun is a sleuth or a sloth. So I had to check. What is the collective noun for sloths? I would have assumed that for an interesting coincidence, you would have a bear of sloths. That would have just been perfect for me. But apparently no, sloths do not have a collective noun. Something surely went wrong there, but whatever. Camels, you have the caravan, but also you would have a flock of caravans, flock of camels apparently, a herd of camels, and then you would have the train of camels. Yeah, choo-choo English, that's the way to go. Armies of caterpillars, because that's menacing enough. And then you would have a coalition of cheetahs, because they are backstabbing bastards apparently. And then I found cougars. You see, cougars do not have a collective noun, so at this point, I wondered, what would you call a group of cougars? Well, probably a good Saturday night, but I think that is beside the point. Anyway, let's move on. Crows. You would have a murder of crows, and that's fantastic. Edgar Allan Poe approves, also Hitchcock, but there are many more examples. And I have arrived at ducks. Now, for ducks, you need a flow chart. I mean, just look at this thing. Just look at this sheet. You have a differentiation between ducks that are flying, ducks that are in the water, ducks that are on the ground. I mean, at this point, I would not be surprised if scientists were to find out that, I don't know, for instance, ducks could ice skate, then the linguist will just come on in, and we have a collective noun for that too. Also, a little piece of information that someone obviously forgot to tell me, male ducks can be called drakes. I did not verify that, but I find it fucking hilarious. Anyway, a convocation of eagles, that's ominous enough. Again, Hitchcock approves. And then you would have a bed of eels, hardly comfortable, in my opinion. And emus. Emus have a mob, so you would have a mob of emus. Why? Well, because apparently they're from Australia, and in Australia everything tries to kill you. So, seems fine enough. Speaking about Australia, kangaroos. Kangaroos also can have mobs, so you would have mobs of kangaroos. You would have the classic herd or troop of kangaroos. Of course, they would have a troop. And then again, they could also have a court. Now, you imagine the court of kangaroos. All rise, presiding the noble court of kangaroos. His honor, hippity hoppity. Yeah, just bad jokes today. Anyway, flamingos. Flamingos, a collective noun for flamingos is a stand. I believe that's a JoJo reference. But also you can have a flamboyance, which is just fabulous. News, you would have a herd or an implausibility, which is even hard to say. I know, maybe just finding many news in a group together is just rare, so it's an implausibility apparently. You would have the classical swarm of grasshoppers and locusts and whatnot. But then you would have hedgehogs. You would have an array of hedgehogs, because apparently there are many of them. I don't know, you would have Sonic, Shadow, Silver. Oh boy, I'm just filled with bad jokes today. God damn. Anyway, herrings. Now, herrings are fish, so you would assume you would have a school of herrings. No, you would have an army. I know, that may be just me, but I think that I caught a red herring with that one. Yeah. Hippos. Hippopotamus. That's hard to say. A herd. Fair enough. But you would also have the collective noun a sea of hippos or a thunder of hippos. I just don't get that one. I don't know. You would have a conspiracy of lemurs. Well, that's what Madagascar tried to warn us about. I'm fairly certain that was the moral of the movie. You would have a risk of lobsters. I know they gamble. Fuck if I know. A labor of moles. Darn Russian spies are at it again. And the parliament of owls. Well, that's the only thing that makes sense, because in mythology, owls were these very wise creatures. I'm not so sure about our own parliament today, but anyway, that's not the point. So, Obviously, there are many names also for penguins, but the one that I find brilliant is a tuxedo. You would have a collective noun that is so a group of penguins is called a tuxedo of penguins. It just fits well as a well-tailored suit. Sure, why not? We'll go with that. A shiver of sharks, either because they are cold-blooded or probably not, I'm not sure, but also probably because you get a shiver when you see a group of sharks. So yeah, sure. So snakes, you would have a nest of snakes, a ball of snakes, or better yet, a slither of snakes. And I would wonder what would Samuel L. Jackson say when he would see so many snakes, possibly on a goddamn plane. Anyway, an ambush of tigers. If you see a group of tigers, so an ambush of tigers, it's too late, the ambush has succeeded, I would think. And here is something a little bit more special, and this is my opinion, obviously, but a group of squid should be called a squad. English, that is a missed opportunity. Why is a group of squid not called a squad? Come on! Seriously? Anyway, those were some of the examples that I found funny. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I did making it. As usual, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Until next time, don't forget to breathe, don't forget to smile. Have a nice one.